urinating is a fetish, but like, oh my gosh. That's all Diddy right there. Diddy's daughters leave courtroom as witness details explicit testimony.
Took the stand. He was detailing explicit sexual acts, and we noticed during his testimony that Sean Diddy Combs' 3 daughters got up and left the courtroom. Sean Diddy Combs entered the courtroom in a sweater, looked at his mother and children seated in the gallery and blew a kiss, made a heart shape with his hands and gave a thumbs up. They smiled at him and a few pumped their fists. His family didn't say anything all day as they entered and exited the courthouse.
Yeah, why would they want to hear that?
So we're taking a little bit of a break. Cassie just testified for about an hour and a half. She walked in with a brown fitted dress on. She was clearly visibly pregnant. She began by talking about how frequently she was abused when asked by prosecutors. She said things like too frequently and said that she had knots on her head before, busted lips, swollen lip, bruises, that these things were normal for her. When asked about what is a freak off, she talked about it being an experience where Combs watched Ventura have sex with other men, and she said that she learned about this concept within the first year of their relationship. Why she went along with it. When asked that question, she said, I was 22. I felt a sense of responsibility. I was confused, nervous, wanted to make him happy. So this is only the first hour and a half of her testimony. We're taking a lunch break, but when we come back, I'm sure we'll get more into the details of their relationship. Remember, though, this is a case about a criminal enterprise, sex trafficking, racketeering. So they're laying the foundation as to the relationship between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura, Cassandra Ventura, but it's moving kind of slow right now, but we'll be providing another update when we get more information. One of the things that I'm constantly wondering is just how the family of Sean Combs is receiving this information, because there's so many details that have been shared about intimate moments. And yesterday I noticed his daughters left the courtroom for some of those details when the male escort was testifying, but today, that first hour and 20 minutes of testimony from Cassie, his entire family was in there. All of his sons, all of his daughters, with the exception of one who's, I believe, about 2 years old. But it appears that the mother of that 2-year-old was also in court, which is something that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting streamed. I wish it was. I would have been watching it.
Y'all want to go with first, the male escort or the LAPD officer?
Whatever's more entertaining.
They're both entertaining. Okay, so the male escort gets on the stand, right? Black male escort. Yes, he's a black man. He's probably 5'7", really stocky, muscle. I could tell when he walked in. I'm like, oh, he must be like a dancer or something. Oh no, Charlamagne's body could never. Okay.
Oh, why Charlamagne, bro?
He's like a dancer or something. So he gets on the stand.
You ain't never seen me with my shirt off, man.
Let her finish, please.
Baby, listen. Look at you sitting over. Sit up. Looking all pudgy. So he's on the stand.
I know you ain't talking with that Vera Wang fat suit on.
So he's on the stand and he's describing his relationship with Cassie and Diddy. And he's saying that, up until a few years ago, in New York, whenever they would come here, they would call him because he would engage in different sexual acts with them, right? Allegedly. So he's like, every single time he got the phone call, it was from Cassie. The way that he met them was through his boss. So his boss came to him one day and said, look, I have this couple who wants to do something for the wife. It's a bachelorette party. They need a male stripper. They didn't have a male stripper, so he went. He shows up in an NYPD t-shirt and he says, Cassie opens the door. She's in red lingerie. She's in a wig, dark glasses, and pumps. And she's like, listen, your boss told me that I'm supposed to give you $200. And this is what he's alleging. And instead, she gives him $4,000. She's like, I want to explain to you what's about to happen. So this is not a bachelorette party. Damn. My husband likes to do special things for me. Oh. He wanted to do this for her. She's in red lingerie. She's in a wig, dark glasses, and pumps. And heels. And she's like, listen, your boss told me that I'm supposed to give you $200. And this is what he's alleging. And instead, she gives him $4,000. She's like, I want to explain to you what's about to happen. So this is not a bachelorette party. My husband likes to do special things for me. He wanted to do this for my birthday. He just wants us to rub baby oil on each other and, just kind of get familiar with each other. And whatever happens from there, if you're comfortable, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. So he's like, okay. So he goes in. He says when he walked in on site, just okay. He literally said Cassie was one of the most beautiful women he ever seen in his life. He couldn't even believe that it was happening like this. So he walks in and he alleges that Puff was there sitting in the room, but you couldn't tell it was him because he had a bandana tied around his face and he had a hat on and he was sitting in the corner. He said that they got into got into it. He says that they were rubbing each other with the oils. There was other lubricant there as well, and that him and Cassie had sex on the couch in that hotel allegedly, and that the whole time Puff sat in the corner and masturbated.
Executive producer. That's what he calls it.
And he did.
It's called a cuck. A cuck.
Say he did say that, you know, he never Puff never got involved, but he was telling them what to do at different times.
That's how we know he don't make beats.
And he also made it clear too that when on the first time that they linked up, Cassie told him, like, you have nothing to worry about. My husband is not gay. He's not going to touch you. He's not going to whatever. He just, you know, he might tell us what to do or whatever, but he's not going to be. It's just going to be us doing the physical things. He said that they linked up a lot more times after that, but he did say that there was two things he said. He said one time he couldn't get hard anymore because he went to Cassie's house. They got comfortable with him. He came to Cassie's house. When he was there, Cassie and Diddy was in the room. He was outside in the living room. Diddy comes out and goes off on Cassie, like allegedly beats her up bad because she took a long time to come back in the room to him. And he said after he saw that was his first time seeing her get physically like touched. He couldn't even engage in sexual activity with the two of them. And they haven't gotten to cross-examine him yet. Like Diddy's team started and then they had to stop.
What about the urination?
The urination thing. So he randomly was just like recounting their experiences, and he just came out and said, yeah, like, because they were asking him what are some of the things you would have to do. He said, well, one time Cassie asked me to, you know, urinate
on her,
on her, and now we all gasping like, wait,
dude, wait, I wonder. Yeah, Diddy had to make her do that, because there's no way someone. I mean, okay, urinating is a fetish, but like, I don't. Oh my gosh. The thing is, that's all Diddy right there.
Because the prosecutors.
So Cassie asked him, not Diddy.
Exactly. Because the prosecutors opened up that literally probably like 15 minutes before that. The prosecutors were like, Cassie is going to tell you that Diddy allegedly made this escort urinate on her. That there's an escort sitting in front of us, sworn in on the stand, saying, no, Cassie told me to do that.
And this is what I was talking about yesterday when I said they're about to put Cassie through it, and I hope her husband isn't hearing anything he didn't already know.
Yeah,
right.
You know, because if not, that gonna make for some very awkward moments at home.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that your wife got urinated on and then found this out in court,
that's a lot.
Could you handle that?
But let me tell you, not only because he had left, he was in the back of the court, and then he went. I think they took up to like a back room. But the you know, all the Diddy kids are there, right? So his daughters are there. I was sitting behind them. It was awkward for me to watch them have to listen to all of this. After he started, the male escort started getting into a lot of the masturbation and stuff, they got up and left.
Who told him to leave? Did Diddy say leave or?
No, Diddy didn't tell them to leave. I don't know if there was a conversation or not. I looked up from writing and I saw them get up, so I don't know. But I know that they were like checking on each other throughout. I saw them ask like Christian.
Yeah, like, why would you want your kids to go, dog? Like, they're just gonna be speaking bad on your name. I guess he had no choice. The kids wanted to be there for support, but like, yeah, you don't wanna hear all this.
At one point, like, you okay? Because they brought Kim into this as well, like having conversations about the jealousy that was between Puff and Cassie, because, you know, the defense is just trying to paint this as like this was just a jealous, toxic relationship, and it started with Diddy not being able to leave Kim alone up until the time of her passing. But there's more. I got to bring this back at the top of the next hour.
I got more questions when we come back, because I want to know what Diddy was doing during all of this.
Okay.
What was his body language like?
Got you. And then the kids were giving off some of the languages as well too, because when that male escort said that part about Cassie, Christian and Justin, like the way that they looked at each other, like finally somebody saying
they feel like telling the truth.
That's what it felt like. That's not what they said, but that's what it felt like. So we'll come back on the top of the next hour, because there's a whole nother witness, and they broke this witness down on the stand.
All right. Well, we'll for sure have that tomorrow, chat.